Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Between the Laughs, with me and my friend here, Gabe Lopez, co-host, if you will. And it struck me yesterday that, when it comes to this podcast, people know me. The fuck is Gabe Lopez? And I don't mean it.
You dick.
I don't mean it.
No wonder you didn't tell me what we were going to talk about today.
I don't mean it in a theoretical kind of a way. How the fuck did you get to be in that seat doing this with me right now? Right? What is that? I want these people to know about you so that when, you say stuff during during our podcast, that they kind of get a feeling for where it is that you came from. It usually tends to, when people know where we're coming from, it usually tends to give a little bit of, that's where he's coming from. A little bit more of an understanding of who you are and what you do. It's kind of like, when you do a joke about gay people and some people go, oh, and then one of the friends goes, no, his brother's gay. And then everybody goes, oh, okay, now I see where it's coming from. All of a sudden, because he has a gay brother, you go, oh, he's not making fun of gay people. He's just talking about this, right? Those perspectives, right? They come in and out. So I want people to have a better perspective of you, Gabe Lopez. So let's start off with, what was your upbringing? Mexican, Chicano, East LA, was it Latino? Was it not Latino?
Yeah, so both my parents born in Mexico, immigrated to the States.
So how did they immigrate? Because that's legally, illegally.
Legally, when my parents came, it was the Bracero program where they were
part of the Bracero program.
So they had sponsors. Basically, my parents' fathers were guaranteed employment, and that employer guaranteed that they would be employed. So the way that program worked is that husband, wife, and any offspring were allowed to come out here legally, and they all got green cards, and I didn't know that both my parents were still on green cards in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah, and then they became.
So they weren't citizens.
They became citizens. They became citizens, and I remember having so much fun because the way Did you ever see a green card, by the way? They call them green cards. Yeah.
Because they used to be green.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those original ones?
My mom's was green. I remember seeing my mom's. I never saw my dad.
No way.
And my mom, even though I was an adult, her picture on her green card is her at like 8 years old, and it never changed.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it never updated or never expired. It was just
those back in the day were really, really, really expensive to buy and really good to sell. The ones with the baby pictures.
Oh.
Because those were the ones. Yeah, exactly.
And they could bring any kid. Like, hey.
How can you say you don't look like that 8-year-old?
That's what I looked like when I was okay.
Exactly.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. No, but I know this because my dad sold mine. My dad sold mine, I think, 3 times. Once when I was like the baby one. Right? And then so I became like a 6-year-old. Then I took another one when I was 6. And then he sold that one. And then the one when I was 12, he sold. And then after that, I just kept them. So like I have 2, I think, in my house of the old green cards that you have. But yeah, I kept those because my dad sold them. So the actual green cards that you're talking about, they were because, those were the ones that you could just go to Tijuana. That's me. You can even be like,
and they can't contest it.
That's me. Yeah, go ahead. They didn't. They didn't get. It was easy to get in, but it was a different time. So they had green cards. You didn't know this. You were 20.
No, I didn't.
Did it freak you out?
Well, I didn't know the difference. Okay, you have a green card just because you were born in a different country. I didn't know that there was another step in becoming a citizen, and I don't know the story. I got to ask my mom actually. I don't know the story of. Did my mom and dad speak? Because they'd already been married for years. They had kids. So like, hey, do we become a citizen or does the offer come in the mail? Hey, it's time. But my dad became a citizen 2 weeks before my mom became a citizen. And it was just the way the scheduling worked out. They had to go to like the LA Convention Center and everybody gets a little flag and, 1,000 people,
I did it.
So that shit like that. How old were you when you did it?
42.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sure my parents were around there. And my dad became a citizen 2 weeks before my mom, which was the best 2 weeks I've ever had, because if my mom ever got mad in those 2 weeks, my dad would say, hey, it's a phone call and they're going to send you back. My dad would just use that threat for those 2 weeks. And I just remember having so much fun because the kids, my sisters and I hopped on board. Mom, hey, Mom. Mom, I'm not going to clean my room, and I'm telling you why. Because one phone call.
Was your mom looking at you like, when I get those citizenship papers, I'm gonna fuck you up?
Yeah, my mom doesn't curse. My mom doesn't curse in English, but she's great at cursing in Spanish.
Oh, yeah?
Like, wow, never heard those words.
Yeah. I became a citizen. It just never was a big deal. I always
and I
become a
imagine that was the
citizen.
case. So there wasn't something you got in the mail. Was it what? And what did you do? What's the process?
I got a lawyer. It's like, hey, I want to become a citizen. I've been here long enough, and I went through the hoops, jumped through the stuff, and yeah. Then when I became a citizen, I think it was the first time I had a drink, because I was always afraid, because of what you were saying, a felony, a DUI, a DWI, depending on what state you are.
Yeah.
And you have a green card,
And you're out.
It can be revoked. Green cards are not permanent. Citizenship is way different. Citizenship is you're an American. There's nothing you can do about it. You're here. That's it. Period. And the story cannot be taken away from you. Even once you're naturalized, se acabó.
Yeah.
So you're it. So that's when I kind of was like, you know what? If I get pulled over for drunk driving, which I'm not going to drive drunk, but it's not going to fucking send me back to Honduras.
Yeah.
Because that was a big fear. So, yeah. So, okay, so they're immigrants. Speak Spanish mostly? English mostly in the house?
No, mostly Spanish in the house. And there was a time.
So how did they have an accent?
No, and it's thank God. It's like, my parents are proof that you can learn without having an accent, because and that was a blessing for my sisters and I, because I speak Spanish fluently and I speak English, and I don't have an accent with either one. I just know how to say things two different ways.
Correct.
And my dad doesn't have an accent. My mother doesn't either. However, I have a couple of aunts, my mom's sisters, that holy shit.
But they came here later?
They're
older?
They're older than my mom. So I guess the English teachings were less.
It gets harder.
So they have an accent when they speak English.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, so it's weird that exists within
That's crazy,
our
right?
family.
Yeah. Because that's happened in my family. The younger ones who came here when they were younger, they learned pretty good English without an accent. But the ones that came here at the same time, by the way.
Yeah, but they were just older when they came here.
The 8-year-old, like that, bro.
Yeah.
The 12-year-old, little bit, could work it, could refine it. But the 18-year-old, there was there's a noticeable accent there.
Yeah.
And they had to work on it to get rid of it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And if they were in their 20s, that was my brother Joseph. Joseph is the guy, if you watch Mine and Mencia, that played the illegal alien or that guy every time, because he was that guy.
Yeah.
He was typecast. It was literally, we did a sketch where we did Are You Smarter Than a Wetback? I think it was a thing. Yeah. And we couldn't get the right people. And so I go, no, they need to have a real
strong accent.
So I go, I had an idea. I go, Joseph, Quincho, come here. Just read that. Just read it exactly as it is.
Exactly the way you...
And he was like, "Da tank es." And everybody just died. And I'm like that. Yeah. So look for that. And then somebody goes,
why don't we just have that?
Yeah, exactly. So, but he came in late, and he never got rid of his accent. So you have aunts that have accents, so they came in late. You're part of the Bracero program, and you're living where?
And I grew up in Orange County, California. So in Santa Ana, that's where I started kindergarten.
No, you're Santa Ana, baby.
Yeah, I went to Santa Ana.
No shit.
I was born in San Jose, but somehow we ended up in Santa Ana. So
Santa Ana is where all the Latinos live.
Yes,
pretty much. That's the crux of the Latino culture in Orange County.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know, if we're doing jokes in Orange County.
Yeah.
About the Latinos or the drugs or blah, blah, blah.
I'm making fun of Santa Ana.
You're saying Santa Ana.
Yeah. So at third grade, because my dad was fearful of being in Santa Ana, and
fearful of what?
Of gangs, of me joining a gang. That's what. So and my dad worked his ass off. I give my dad so much credit because he worked his ass off to move us to the town a couple towns down, which was Tustin, California, at the time. And this was in third grade. I remember my first day of school. in third grade at Tustin Memorial Elementary School was Valentine's Day.
Okay.
That was my first day.
Okay.
And the reason I remember it so vividly because I was a new kid. And I would get these straggler Valentines that the kid, because everybody was exchanging Valentines. I was
Right.
this new kid, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any Valentines, so
Sure.
so anybody had an extra to like it was like a to whom it may concern type Valentine. But I remember being in Tustin. In Santa Ana, it was all mostly black and Latinos, and with a couple of Asians.
Right.
In Tustin, it was me and one other black guy.
Uh-huh.
And all white and Asian. That is it. That is no exaggeration at all.
What was the breakdown, do you think, of between white and Asian?
I would say it was 70% white, 30% Asian, one black
That many
person. Oh
Asians?
yeah.
Even back then?
Yeah.
Really?
And so I went to school, and then when I started fourth grade, the second Mexican joined the school, and that was my sister who started kindergarten.
So you guys were the two Latinos?
We were the two, yes.
Two Latinos and a black guy?
Yes.
What was high school? Tustin?
No, Tustin Memorial Elementary School. This was
the
when I was
elementary
third,
school.
This is
Tustin Elementary School.
Yeah, this is
Ooh.
elementary school.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no diversity.
Yeah, none. And so
Did you feel it?
I didn't know what racism was. I didn't know that. I just knew that there was nobody I didn't hear Spanish anymore that I was used to hearing at school before. I just didn't hear it. And it didn't bother me. I spoke English just fine and I blended in. Luckily I assimilated just fine. You know, and there's some of the friends, one actually one's Vietnamese and one's white that I still talk to this day.
No way.
Yeah. Still, you know, it's
Dude,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah, and so some of these friends I still have, you know, and thank God for like MySpace and Facebook and Instagram that allowed us to find each other again.
Wow.
And it was shit like that. So now I'm in elementary school, and
You're in a pretty much predominantly white elementary school, some Asians. You're
Yeah.
the only Latino, but you're not a Latino
but I'm
looking darkish. You know what I'm saying?
that comes into play because my friends weren't trying. It's like the friends I became that we would play kickball and baseball, whatever with. They didn't know they were saying racist things, and I didn't know they were being racist. Like for example, I remember I was half Korean, half white friend. His name was Jeremy, and he was talking about Mexicans in some odd way. I don't remember what he was saying, but he didn't always saying anything wrong. And I told him, you know, I'm Mexican, right? And his response was, yeah, but you're not like that. You're a clean Mexican.
Oh shit!
Meaning,
fuck!
all that, and he didn't think he meant nothing negative by it. It was just that my skin was lighter than the Mexicans he was speaking of.
the dirty mud people.
Oh, yeah, apparently. But luckily, I was one of the clean ones. So it was just stuff like that I remember and it was.
And that borders, like, you know, when we say racial racist, that context, right? How long ago was 35 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
So back then, it was racism, right? Because back then, there wasn't really, their idea of who Mexicans are was from the outside, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like today. Like today, if somebody made a comment like that, what they'd be trying to say is, yeah, but you're not an illegal. It's a difference.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like racial like that.
Yeah.
At that point, it was just like, shit, you're not like those fruit picker people.
Exactly.
Because that's Mexican.
Yeah.
You're not. There were two types of Mexicans.
Yeah.
There wasn't a Chicano. There was just Mexicans and not.
Yeah.
And you fell into that because what people don't know is when your father and mother first came to this country, and you can probably go look at some of the feeds because I was fucking shocked. I'll show you a picture of my dad and you'll understand why. There was no box for Latino. So you were either black or white. And so according to my father's documents, when he first came to America, my dad's white.
Love it.
Dude, he's mosquito like a motherfucker, bro. You know when they do those documentaries for people in like South America and Central America, and they're little and they're really dark and they're old and they look crinkly, y hablan así, and then sometimes they have that's my dad. He looks like he got plucked out of that picture, and he's white. So I would not be surprised if, according to all the paperwork that you guys filled, you guys at that point were a white family.
Could be.
Because you didn't ever fill anything out saying that you were a Latino.
Yeah, because when I was going to school, there was other. There was black, white, Islander, I think Pacific Islander, Indian, or other. Like there wasn't even a Latino or Mexican box.
There you go, bro.
So I was other.
So you were other, but they were racist without knowing it.
Yeah.
Kind of. It was almost just like, and that's the worst kind of racism, right? The racism where they don't mean it. They just grew up like that.
It was just his description. Like I remember that,
Right.
and at no point was I offended, and at no point was he trying to be offensive.
Right.
And it was just the way he described me, and I don't even remember talking to my parents about that. Like it was just like, okay, I know I don't look like the Mexicans I did when I was in kindergarten, first, second grade. I knew my skin was lighter, and I have 4 sisters, so there's 5 of us. 1, 2, 3 of us are very light skinned, and the other 2 took more on my dad's side. He was definitely the darker one. My mom is white,
right.
like white.
Right.
And so it was just that mix.
Right.
And never thought anything of it. And you know, like, and I never realized, like, with black people, you know, they're black even if you're light skinned, you're black. And then
Even
when
if
you're white,
Patrick Mahomes.
yeah, and if you're white, you know, even if you go in the sun every day, we know you're white. But with Latinos, we have the entire spectrum to choose from. We're equator Latino, or we can be light. And there's people don't realize there's regions of Mexico where it's common to have blonde hair and blue eyes and green eyes. That is very prominent in certain sections of Mexico. But people don't realize that.
Not just that. There's a huge, like, one of the largest contingencies of Jewish people outside of, you know,
Israel
is actually in the Distrito Federal.
Really?
DF.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. One of the largest populations of Judíos. Yeah, I know. So, but what my point is they're Latinos, though, because they're born in Latin, you know, countries, whatever, but they're Jewish.
Yeah.
So because we're not a race, we're an ethnicity. Because I experienced what you experienced backwards. So I grew up with Ned, right? My name was Ned. So I got treated.
So yeah, the white name.
Yeah, I got treated like, hey, look at this fucker's name is Ned, bro. Is that shit short for Eduardo? You know what I mean? So I discovered like that from this side.
So glad you told me that.
Oh, dude, Eduardo, and then my real name is Mencia, but Holness was the name I used because that's my grandfather's name. So they used to call me, hey, fucking Ned Holness Frijoles. I'm like, how could I be white and brown at the same time? Ned likes frijoles. It was just
you're racist wrong, bro.
You're racist so wrong, dude. I'm trying they're making fun of me, and I'm like, you know, that doesn't work. Those words don't fit. But then when I went to Honduras, and when I lived in Honduras, I was the opposite, because you know my grandfather, or my great grandfather's from Europe somewhere. My grandfather grew up in the Cayman Islands, so he's still white, and then it started mixing after my grandfather and my father. So there was, you know, I was very light-skinned, freckle-faced when I was a kid. Huh. I got a little permanent tan when I went to Honduras at the age of 12, and I was there till the age of 15 or 16. Okay. Pretty much. So those 3 years darkened me.
Got it.
Like literally, genetically.
Like permanently.
Darkened me. I think my body was like, you know what, we could stay white and freckly.
Or we can adapt to this.
Or we can adapt to this
hellish
environment.
weather.
And my body went, you know what? We're gonna adapt, because my younger sister, Dices, who looks just like me. It got very, very similar. I mean, like our baby pictures are exactly the same. She's white with freckles, still,
wow.
And I got the darky. But over there in Honduras, I was the güero. Yeah. So over here it was like, hey, Nerjones frijoles. And over there it was like, míralo, pinche güero. Este cabrón es güero. And so I got the opposite. But here in this country, I never felt the racism that you might have felt growing up. Did you ever feel it? Did it affect you?
The racism I felt so because we're.
And this is still. What, high school, middle school?
Then let's go
middle school,
let's go high school, because high school is really when I started figuring out my identity. Now, fast forward, we moved away from Orange County, and
so where did you go to middle school?
It's like in Tustin.
Okay.
So, and in high school, I did like my freshman year in Orange County, and then when my dad was really He was a general contractor, but he really wanted to get into real estate and real estate investing. At the time, Orange County was becoming too expensive. So let's move to San Bernardino, California. So we moved to San Bernardino because Riverside and San Bernardino, they're going to be the next places to boom the way Orange County had. So we moved to San Bernardino. So now
He wasn't wrong, by the way.
Yeah, no, he was not.
He actually was not wrong. That was a great move, bro.
But now, the high school I went to, Cajon High School in San Bernardino, California.
Was it El Cajon High School?
No, it's just Cajon, just Cajon. And now I'm back to when I was in Santa Ana. Now there's so many black people and so many Mexicans and not Latinos, Mexicans, and there's some Puerto Ricans here. Now I'm old enough and starting to decipher, like, okay, I know they're Latinos, but their Spanish is okay. I learned who Cubans are now. I know who Puerto Ricans are. I know where the Mexicans are, and
and hold on, for people to understand, it's a different accent in Spanish. Like, and you can even hear them when we speak English, right?
Yeah.
Like when I can tell, like I was watching a commercial the other day and I went, oh, that chick grew up in Miami.
Yeah.
She's speaking perfect English, but I could tell that there was an accent, that she talked like this and it was like that. But in Spanish, you can immediately tell, right? The Mexican.
And I can and the Spanish, it's a different dialect of Spanish. Like I tell my mom, if I know you're Cuban and you ask me if I speak Spanish, fuck no, I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand those fuckers at all. Cubans, it's all one long sound. Mom, we don't speak. No, I thought we spoke Spanish. We don't speak Spanish at all. I can get by with the Puerto Ricans. The Cubans, no, I can't.
And believe it or not, their Spanish is more Spain Spanish than ours is. Believe it or not.
I find that hard to believe because Spain Spanish I get. Puerto Rican Spanish, I get. Mexican Spanish, got it.
I'll let you listen to people from Spain. They speak really fast. Right? I'll watch this thing on YouTube called El Chiringuito de Jugones. And you can tell and you're like, whoa, shit, that was fast. I think that was part of it. I think that our Spanish was mixed in so much with the native, whether it was Aztec, Mayan, Inca, all the subsidiary tribes down, that it's a little slower because Mexican Spanish is very, very, very different than that fast Spanish. So it's easy for us to spot somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? The minute, porque no, hombre, pues, ¿cómo vas a hacer eso? Like, that's not, pero ¿cómo vas a hacer eso? Yeah. Like, think about just that difference.
Yeah.
We ¿cómo vas a hacer eso, cabrón? No. Yeah. Pero ¿cómo vas a hacer eso? It's like, whoa, holy shit.
Yeah, so
you get this.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going, holy shit, different Latinos.
And there's English-speaking friends, like, what do you mean there's difference in Spanish? Like, there can't be, it's one language. And the great example I give them is British English and American English.
Right.
It's like, okay, you get it now? It's different but the same. We can understand British English. There might be a few words we don't get here and there, but for the most part.
But it's New York English with a heavy Italian, switch, or Boston with a heavy, you know what I mean?
Same concept.
Or the South,
yeah,
putting R's at the end of potatoes, or the Yoopers, going to the show. We're going to go to the show. Yeah. Influences all from different parts, right? One's Scandinavian, one's Irish, one's Italian. It's the same thing for us, right? We have those different mixes. So now you're not with the white. Do you feel like an insider or an outsider now?
Well, when I was in high school, I started learning because I was already a fan of stand-up. Never thought I would do it, but I was a fan of stand-up because there was a show when we lived in Tustin every Saturday night at 11 o'clock on Fox called Comic Strip Live.
Yeah.
And it was taped at the Laugh Factory. And that's where I learned about people like George Lopez and Jeff Dunham and Carrot Top. And I started becoming fans of people like Dennis Wolfberg and just...
This was the late 80s?
I'm going to say the late 80s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
So I'm already a fan of stand-up.
Yeah, I did Comic Strip Live, so...
And yes, I know.
Holy shit.
And so now, fast forward in high school... I didn't have a clique that I belonged to. And high schools are all cliques. There's the black athletes or the white people, the Asians. The Mexicans were all tended to be the cholos that I never wanted to be and what my dad fought so hard for me to not become. But it didn't change the fact that kind of a prison rules apply. I am Mexican, so by default, I'm connected to this group.
Right.
But my way out of... because I would still hang out with them, my way out of them not trying to jump me into their little situation was to make them laugh. And
so you would hear the jokes from these guys.
I would recite
and then
jokes.
you would recycle jokes.
I would recite jokes from Comic Strip Live that I learned and make these guys laugh. Like anything I heard from George Lopez, these guys will like it.
Sure.
If there was a black comic, okay, let me the black guys.
You can adjust it.
And so I kind of became a chameleon and just melded myself into everybody because I didn't belong anywhere. I didn't think I belonged in the Mexican group. Not the Mexican, the Cholo group specific.
I got you.
And but they weren't bad people. Just because they were cholos and they were in a gang doesn't mean they were bad people.
Right.
They were just loyal to their own cause or whatever cause they made up for themselves. But I wasn't them.
What most people don't understand about gangbangers is most of them are just trying to have a family that they don't have at home.
Yes.
Right?
They want
They're vulnerable.
they want to belong.
They want to belong. And they don't belong at home for whatever reason, for whatever thing. Maybe the dad's gone. Maybe the mom's, on drugs. Maybe she speaks too much Spanish and they're too English. I mean, look at what we saw last night, And we saw the beauty of it, right? And what I mean is last night, these two Asian women were in the front row.
From mainland China.
Right. The mom is from mainland China. The daughter was born in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. And so the mother, when I say we're doing karaoke, goes downstairs, and when I'm telling you, she had the voice of
an operatic angel
soprano. I mean, the music played, and when she just went, ooh, I swear to God, everybody got chills, and we all went. We didn't want to say anything, and then she just kept singing, and she's
a thick Asian accent, and she's singing Pavarotti like
perfectly. She comes up with the mic and goes, "Okay, please just be nice to me, okay? Just be nice to me." Literally like that, and then no accent whatsoever, and then her daughter comes out like an hour later. It's a rap song, and she's
gangster rap.
Kunta, yeah, motherfucker, and a bitch, and we're just like, what the fuck?
Like these are two different stories that came together.
and what I'm curious as to, and connecting it to what you're talking about is, where were the bad moments there? Where were the moments where the mother clashed with the daughter? Was like, hey, why aren't you doing what I'm doing? Why aren't you, listen, this is music. This is it. And the daughter's like, ugh, mom, fuck that in your culture. I'm a fucking American and I want to, did you have those fights? Those pressures?
My dad was always afraid of me losing the culture and the language and our history of who we were. It's like, because my dad was very much, don't take pride in being Mexican. Take pride in the last name you were blessed with.
Gotcha.
And so it was like, so my dad taught me it was kind of my job to continue on.
Right.
I saw how hard my mom and dad worked to get us this far. So it's my job to get to the next step. I can't be behind I need to do better than what my mom and dad accomplished. And they did great things from where they started to where they ended.
Right.
And now I'm in a position where I take care of my parents and in their own house and my dad was very much against the stand-up thing because he thought there's no career in this. There's no money in this.
Right.
You're gonna live at home forever.
Right.
My mom was always the one to reach for the stars. Follow your dreams. My dad was very much keep your feet on the fucking ground. So in that, I guess there was a balance.
Decent balance.
There was a balance in that because my dad was also didn't want us to lose the language. So I couldn't. He didn't allow my sisters and I to speak English at home. English at home. We were only allowed to speak Spanish because he didn't want us to forget the language.
That's a gift, bro.
And I thank God for it. I hated it because it was like for 2-3 years straight that this is if we're at the house.
It's a gift.
And we're, hey, Dad, can I go hang out with my friends? No te entiendo. ¿Qué dijiste?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
And
that's a gift, bro.
It absolutely is. It 100% is. But that's part of my path in high school when I really started to develop my personality, my identity.
So you're kind of finding out that you're a Latino and what kind of Latino you are, right? You're kind of beginning to learn the difference between East Coast Latino, West Coast Latino, the Caribbean Latino.
Yeah, and I didn't know the difference. I thought we were all one thing. Give you this example. I thought only Mexicans were Catholic because when we went to church, it was Spanish Mass, and the church was full of Mexicans.
Right.
Now, fast forward where I'm living in Vegas, and I'm at a low point in life that I went to church by myself, and Vegas predominantly English mass, but okay, I'll go to English mass. It's still
Right.
all the same. Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. It's all the
Sure.
same. And I was always dressed up to go to church. That's the way my parents raised me.
Mine too.
I'm there at church here in Vegas, and it's football Sunday. These guys are in flip-flops and Vikings jerseys and Chargers jerseys and Raiders jerseys, and because they're going to go watch the game after this, and there's white people and Filipinos. I had no idea so many Filipinos were Catholic. It just blew my mind where I had to call my mom, like, Mom, I had no idea other people around. I had no idea how huge the Catholic religion was.
Right.
Like, I'm still, and this is in my 30s where I realized this.
Right.
Like, I had no idea other people were Catholic.
Right.
I just know I was Católico.
Right.
I really never translated to Catholic.
Right.
And shit that I still learn to this day. I'm like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I remember my first, I did my first USO tour where I was going to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, don't get to that yet.
So,
We're still here.
We're still in high school.
We're still in high school
Okay.
because the things that influence us as comedians, right? The things that make us who we are, right? We build this thing called a stand-up persona.
Yeah.
Right? You have it, I have it. It's not who we are off stage. It's a part of who we are
That is
off
just
stage.
who we are.
But when we go on stage, we know how to take that piece of who we are and just expand it into...
Now we structure it.
It's very structured, but it's all very much driven by the things that we've gone through, right?
Yeah.
So you're a Latino.
And high school was very
Formative for you that
Yes,
way? Because you're already doing jokes.
I'm already doing jokes. And
You're
I'm
already telling people you're funny. You're
Yeah.
already using comedy to disarm, to connect, and to use it as a means to...
a means of survival.
Yeah, self-survival, I guess, is great. Right, you're right.
Because now now I'm also.
And who are you gravitating toward at this point?
Either the Mexicans or the black guys, because I love playing sports. I was obsessed with baseball.
Okay.
And most of the athletes at the school were black, a handful of white, but mostly the more talented people were black. And I wanted to be around the more talented people. You know, what are they doing? Because I study everything. So what are they doing different?
Right.
You know, if I'm trying to steal second base, what are they doing different than I'm doing? Because this guy's doing it way better than I do. So I'm studying this guy. Now I'm studying this guy. So because there was a talent to learn.
Right.
With the Cholos, there wasn't anything that I was really learning.
That was just survival.
That was just survival. But I'm also in my copying the jokes that I heard on Comic Strip Live and Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious. And I'm learning a rhythm. I didn't realize I was learning a rhythm on how a joke should be told.
The music. I call it the music of a joke.
The emphasis. Where do you put the at the end? And how would I get the biggest bang for my buck, the biggest bang for my laugh? And I didn't realize I was learning because I was copying the rhythm, and I was copying not just the jokes, the rhythm to try to make people laugh, because nobody else was watching Comic Strip Live. I was.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to. I didn't realize I was blending in with everybody.
Okay.
Now I know I can make the white bunch laugh, and I can make the black bunch laugh, and I can make the Mexicans laugh. And
So through stand-up, you're figuring out that you have the ability to talk and connect with all these
everybody.
groups of people.
Correct.
That for a minute, at some point, you didn't really see as like all of your people.
I didn't see something magical was happening.
Correct.
In retrospect,
Right.
I'm like, I am able to connect with these people and connect with these people and connect with these people where not only do they like me, they consider me one of their own.
Right.
And so, you know, so high school in San Bernardino specifically, because there were so many cultures, and I started learning about the different Latinos so now I can make fun of Puerto Ricans with intelligence, with Mexicans obviously with intelligence, Cubans with intelligence, black people with intelligence, white people with intelligence. We can get specific on.
And mostly middle class, right? But a lot of at that time, San Bernardino was a place
It was
where
very low to middle class.
Right, but it was the place where if you lived where I lived, right, in East LA, and you got, man, you know what? I saved enough money. Let's get out of the projects. Let's get a house in Montebello, which is next door. Oof, that house would have been $20,000 to $40,000 less in San Bernardino.
Yes.
So those were the people that kind of said, you know what? We're going to go I'm going to get another job, or I'm going to get a job over there first, and then I'm going to move over there. So there's a lot of middle class, but people that were grew up poor, that kind of went middle class. A lot of kind of that was around where you were.
Well, we went from middle class, we went down.
Right.
When we moved to San Bernardino, there was a point where things are bad. I mean, when I say things are bad, there was where my dad had to suck up his pride, and we lived on food stamps and public assistance, and luckily, and my dad being the proud man that he is, we got out of that, but he had to suck it up. And one thing I admired about my dad is he sucked it up wholly. Like, he would never allow my mom to go to the grocery store with food stamps.
Yeah.
This is my cross to bear. So give me the list of what you need, and I will deal with this. My mom was never going to be the one that touched food stamps. And there's so many things that I learned. Like, my parents taught me how to tip. We were talking about this earlier. They're the ones, like, look, if they're working for you, these people are working hard and they're making minimum wage. They're working hard to make our experience better. Recognize this.
Nice.
And my parents are the ones that taught me, like, this is how you tip. So now I don't believe in tipping. I believe in over tipping because I know. Yeah. We work in comedy clubs, so the people around us, we're getting paid great. The people around us are making minimum wage, working their butts off in a dark room, whispering.
And some of these clubs, a lot of people don't know, like I didn't know this, when the minimum wage for, America was at $8.25, right?
Yeah.
That's the minimum wage in the United States, America. In states like Texas and I think Florida, waiters and waitresses are getting like $2 and something. I don't know how the fuck they got away with that.
It's called tips to minimum. There's actually a term for it because they believe they're going to make so much in tips that we're going to give you the minimum that we can because you're going to make. And it's stupid, and I don't agree with it. But these are real laws. I hope it doesn't exist anymore. But these were
God,
real
I
laws.
hope not. Like, how the fuck is there a minimum and I'm getting less than the minimum?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, because so now graduating high school,
right?
Every job I've gotten, I've gotten because I spoke Spanish. So all the people that you talk
no shit.
Because that's what put me over the top.
Oh, that extra.
Because I went to college, so I had the education. So if it's me and a white guy.
So where'd you go? Where'd you go to college? Let's not skip the college years.
College years. I went to in Rancho Cucamonga. I went to Chaffey College, and then in San Bernardino, Cal State San Bernardino. And both of those schools, I accelerated my process because these two schools, one a community college and one a university, but they both worked on quarters. So I essentially could get 3 semesters out of the way a year.
Right.
Because I wasn't interested in living on campus, and I wasn't interested in joining a fraternity. I had no interest in doing that.
To me, a fraternity just feels like a fucking gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't it do it? Doesn't it do it? It's like the same shit.
And that's probably my avoidance of wanting to be a cholo. That probably triggered my, I don't want to be hazed.
It was for me too.
So we're getting jumped in anyway, but this is an organized.
It's the same shit. You get jumped in, you get hazed. Once you're in, you're in forever.
But ones with Greek letters. Who gives a shit? I had no interest. Like, I want to get this, and I get this done. And I got my degree, and I went to see Edward James Olmos.
So a degree in what?
Real estate and finance. Well,
Okay.
it's finance with a concentration in real estate.
Okay, finance with a concentration in real estate.
And I remember I went to see Edward James Olmos speak.
Okay.
And he was if you know anything about Edward James Olmos, he's a great actor, but he's huge on education. One of his is huge on education.
Huge.
And and he's the one that taught me, like, don't get any student loans. This is what you do. Get credit cards, get as many credit cards as you can, fund your education with those credit cards, because they can never repossess or take away your education if you can't pay the credit cards. But that credit card debt will eventually disappear from your credit report. Student loans will never disappear. Yeah, like, you are stuck with a student loan for life. So I took a business, some entry-level business law class or something, and part of this class taught you how to fill out a credit card application. And at the time, they were doing the point system. So, like, if you owned a house, it was 3 points. If you rented, it was 1 point. If you live with your parents, it's 0 points.
Right.
If you make this much money. And they weren't verifying. So guess what? 18-year-old Gabe Lopez owns his home and makes $250,000 a year. And I'm just filling out exactly the way I was taught. So at one point, I had 10 credit cards as a 19-year-old with $25,000 limits.
Nice.
So with that, I funded my education. I bought all my books. I never paid any of it back because I wasn't in a position to pay it
Did you get any scholarships?
No, none.
Did you apply for any?
I applied for some, got none because I fell in.
Oh, you fell into too much money?
I fell into this weird nothing. So so I funded it with those credit cards, and then I funded and with one of those credit cards, I funded DJ equipment because I wanted to become a DJ.
Okay.
So I bought myself turntables and the vinyl.
The old school?
Oh
Like
yeah,
the old
I was all vinyl.
Techniques, bro?
I still have them in my
got
garage.
your techniques?
I got my techniques in my
Get
garage,
the
and I
fuck
still got.
outta here.
I still
You got
got
a little
vinyl.
mixer, bro? The little box and everything that you travel in?
I have it all.
You got crates still?
Oh, I got crates. I still
No
have crates.
fucking way, bro.
Yeah, yep, they're in the garage.
Oh my God.
They're in my garage somewhere, but I still.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Now, how
yeah.
good did you get at that?
I was DJing. Like I started working at a radio station in Riverside, next to San Bernardino, and it was called 99.1 KGGI.
KGGI?
And,
The rhythm of the valley.
Yeah, because and I got into being an on-air talent, and this is before house was huge, before house music was huge. So
Okay.
there was a club in Riverside called Club Metro.
Okay.
And they're big.
I
DJ.
remember that club.
Remember, there's a DJ. His name was DJ Linwood. And
Yes.
I still follow him to this day.
Yes.
It's like they would do something called the Earthquake Mix at 99.1, where they would just basically, it was a pre-mix thing of DJ Linwood's mix that they would play, and I fell in love with house music and jungle and industrial and all that dance style music, and he taught me a lot of stuff. So I was able to get into Club Metro. I was able to get into Club Metro. They put me in the small room at first,
Okay.
and I was to give you. It's like DJs. I'm jealous because right now, those Tiestos and Calvin Harris's make $250,000 a set. I'm lucky if I made $300,
Right.
for the night.
Yeah.
But
you chose your passion.
yeah, and I love doing it, and I would
Right.
still do it. Like I'm actually going to reconstruct one of my rooms. I want to do a new setup. So because much like you love karaoke, I love mixing, and the idea of I was that guy, and I'm aging myself with the flashlight in my mouth, going through the vinyl, because it was dark, and you pluck it up, and and you have to hear it on one. It's not on a laptop that matches the beat. You have to try to match the beat organically, and it was such an art that doesn't exist anymore.
I have an idea. You can say yeah, you can say no, but if you like actually still want to do some mixing and stuff, most karaoke places, right? The places, not the places where you have rooms, but where you go and there's a guy hosting it.
Yeah.
Usually the hosts play music in between.
Yeah.
So they'll let somebody sing, and then they'll play some songs in between to get the people hyped, and then they'll play a song. So like no matter what the music is of the people singing,
There's always something
you
going
have
on.
always control.
Yeah.
So if you want to bring your turntables and hook it up and do that, you're more than welcome to, bro.
That does not sound fun at all.
Because if you love mixing, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of, just because I love the music and I love just it's a lifestyle. Like if you're into that music, that is
So
all.
you'd want to do it, but on a big level, like at a club where everybody's hyping. I mean, if that was something you could do.
Much like stand-up. Do you want to, hey, you can perform in my living room, or do you want to perform in this 5,000 seat arena? Well, no, I want to perform in this 5,000 seat arena.
I want to do the Coliseum.
Because the same love and anxiety and passion that I have for DJing is what I have for stand-up. Is I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna lock you down. I'm gonna make sure you have a good time, and I love that challenge.
Right. Yeah.
That a thought that we have before it was a song that I chose. Now it's a thought that I have, and figuring out what type of crowd we have, because every crowd is its own special project, and
So this had to help you out with regards to,
probably I'm just realizing it right now having the conversation with you.
because if you think about it, part of what we have to do as stand up is to get that wave of energy, right?
Yeah.
Not every crowd is the same,
Correct.
right? And I don't know how the phenomenon works. Nobody does. But when you get a group of people, whether it's 20, 50, 30, 100, 1,000, 2,000, doesn't matter. For some reason, after a while, their energies connect. And for some reason, this crowd will ooh this joke, but laugh at this joke. And the next show, they will do the complete opposite. They never talked. They never hung out. They don't know each other.
Yeah.
They just, as a group, all went, oh, too far. And then the other one was like, no, keep bringing it. That energy is what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So you learned how to manipulate that energy through music, pure music, right?
Yeah.
With no punchlines.
Correct.
But it was also teaching you how to do that comedically. Because as you said earlier, you were learning the music of how to tell the joke. So you're still a DJ. You're just a more complex DJ. using the rhythm that DJs do, the beat that DJs do, except using your own words.
Yeah.
Using your own manipulation of the language of whatever it is, other actions in order to get them to be. It's a moment in a DJ where you go, shit, I got to play this song so that everybody gets on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Because it's what, 10 years ago, you want everybody on the dance floor? All I do is win, no matter what. The money, everybody's hands up, and everybody goes, boom.
And I got him.
And
Then that's how you know.
And then you're done. You're good. So, but you're still doing that.
Yeah.
You're just doing it now with, oh shit, I gotta put this joke here. Oh shit, I gotta emphasize this joke. Oh shit, I gotta play this song. I gotta tell this joke.
Now it's.
Are you seeing
but now it's my own words.
Right.
That are creating that hands up.
But you didn't realize how much it was teaching you one to do the other.
If I'm pushing play on this record, I know how to get you guys. But I'm just the guy pushing play. This is the talented guy that's Little John is the one that's talented, that's bringing these people. I'm just pushing play, and I realize, okay, I am not the talent here. I say that with like the DJs that we see here in Vegas. They're touring all over the world, making all this money. Everything is so structured around their lighting that a lot of them don't even mix anymore. It's all on a flash drive. They walk up, they put it into that laptop, and a lot of them just pretend to play with knobs.
Well, yeah, because if you're gonna have,
I'm not saying that all DJs, but there are some it's so connected to the lights,
to the lighting and everything else that they can't fuck it up.
That they can't mess it up.
Yeah, I get it.
We're holding a microphone, and if there's only two people, our delivery becomes drastically different, and that's where we're different than like musicians, where they put us in the same category. We're not the same. Right. If there's 10 people and you got a band, those 10 songs are still 10 songs long. Mm-hmm. If there's 10 people,
right,
and I have 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
right,
guess what? I'm going to fly through that with 10 people, as opposed to if there's 1,000 people there, that 20 minutes now becomes 30, 40 because the collective laughter, and we got to pause and shit like that. And the adaptation that we have to make with stand-up, I love it.
A 1 second laugh for a short crowd, a 2 second laugh for a medium-sized crowd, 4 to 5 seconds, the bigger the crowd, and then you do a stadium, and it's literally punchline. Yeah. When I talk again, it's just whoa! It's just like
because what is it in March where Fluffy and Joe Coy are doing SoFi Stadium? Mm-hmm. I think they're both going to do 10 minutes of material because so much laughter is going to be coming back before they can try something else.
Laughter and cheers.
Yeah,
because those are the kind of shows where you could just be.
You could just stand there.
Be like, because I grew up Latino. We sold it out. So you're learning how to deal with it. You're not doing stand-up yet.
I'm not doing stand-up
yet. You
yet.
had the seed when you were in high school. Yeah. So in high school, you had the seed. You see stand-up, you go, damn, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna talk to these guys. I'm gonna make these guys laugh. I'm gonna make these my friends. I'm gonna make sure that these guys don't believe I'm an enemy, so that everybody's copacetic. Then you start doing DJing. You're finding out. So early on, you started with the rhythm of a joke. Yeah. Then you figured out there's a rhythm in life. There's a rhythm in life. So now you have these two things that you want to do. So where's the fork?
Now I'm working at a Fortune 500 company.
Okay. Is this where you were at PayPal?
It was Paychex.
Paychex.
Yes. And I worked for two Fortune 500 companies. It was ADP before, the competitor Paychex, and then I went to Paychex because that was closer to home.
Okay.
And around this time, a new comedy club was finally opening in town.
How old are you?
24, 25.
Okay, so you're 24. Mm-hmm. You got some DJ skills, a little dream.
Yeah.
You love stand-up. Had you ever thought about doing stand-up up until that point?
No. But I'll tell you how that story started because I'm still DJing, but there was more money in weddings. So I was DJing weddings overdoing it because I could make $1,000 for a wedding, $300 for doing a club. Right. I like doing the club more, but hey, the money.
At that time, that was who the fuck would have known that if you had just continued it and become DJ whatever, that you would be at the Win, whatever.
Yeah. And so, but there's a club that opened up in town. It's like, so then the two cities over, is the Improv in Ontario opened up. And I was so happy because now I didn't have to drive to Hollywood to go to stand up because it was hard for me to find friends to make the drive with me to go. So there's times I'd go to the Laugh Factory by myself or the Improv by myself or Irvine or Brea.
So even though you're going to all these clubs, you're still not thinking I want to do it?
I'm just a fanatic about stand up. I just love the art. And I think somebody was just holding a microphone, no music, no guitar, not hiding behind any music, that it is the most rawest, purest form of entertainment. Like literally, I can be sitting there and you just have a microphone. Entertain me, clown boy.
Right. Well, listen, we got into this with Cisco, and so I'll liken it to what I was saying to Cisco when I said, this is the simplest form of stand up, blah blah blah, and we had a discussion about it. I think that when it comes to art, we're that. Stand up is that. Stand up is the art that seems to be the one that everybody goes, oh, I can do that. Because it seems so simple, right? It seems so easy that people think they can do it. But I believe that it's like you. It is the simplest one. Because you just have a microphone and a tool. But
I think it's the hardest one because it's just a microphone.
And what can we create with that? When somebody is able to create vividness, colors, and emotions, when all they have is that mic and that stool.
Yeah. Those words coming out of our mouth are painting pictures in all these brains.
And emotions.
And that is
and driving and
that's
pushing.
That's
and
the
pulling.
hardest thing.
Yeah, because that's why we get hate.
Yeah.
Right? Comedians get hate because people see past the joke. Right? They don't even go, oh, he's just being funny. They just try to start to see the realness in it.
Yeah.
The truthfulness in it. The authenticity in it. Right. And that's what pisses them off. And then when you say something like, whoever it is, whatever it is, blank people this, or these people that, or women this, or guys that, or this politician, whatever it is, and it's funny, that laughter pisses those people off even more.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, how awesome is what we do that just with some words and a mic, we can piss off some people and really trigger them.
And I when that club opened up, I was the most excited person in the world. And when I say that, I became annoying to my friends. Hey, we're hanging out, go to this bar. Hey, let's go to the Improv. Paulo Francisco's in town. Hey, Carlos Mencia's in town. Ralphie May's in town.
Right.
Hey, and I'm
How
just
often were you going?
I would go weekly. I promise you, I would. If I went a week without going to the Improv, I'm not happy. There's something wrong. Like I was so obsessed with.
So you're loving this comedy. You just want to see it.
Yeah.
When was the fork? When was the tuning? When was the moment?
The Ontario Improv offered a comedy class.
Okay.
Couple of my friends found out about it, and they pitched in and basically told me, we put this together. You're going to this class. It's 6 weeks long. You won't shut up about stand-up. And on the 6th week, the graduation is you're going on stage.
Seriously?
Shit or get off the pot.
Dude, I'm tearing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That is literally.
Really?
These 3 friends changed my fucking life. This is shit or get off the pot. And
These 3 guys
we
just
are
saw it in you.
And we are going to be there on that Tuesday when you are going to go on stage for yourself.
Wow.
You make us laugh more than a lot of these shows that you dragged us to.
Wow. I'm tearing up because I had the opposite. I had a fucking intervention. So I had you're ruining your life.
Yeah.
You're fucking it up. What's wrong with you?
And I'm sure my dad would have been on that party. I just chose to ignore my dad on that side. It's like my friends were like, you drag us to these shows and you make us laugh more than these guys.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
So fast forward the 6 weeks, and I realized.
By the way, you're still friends with these guys.
I'm still friends with these guys.
Okay, and they still come to shows sometimes, and the whole thing.
They all live in California, so I haven't seen them in years. But when I'm in town, or when I'm on the road with you, or shit like that, they come out.
And you're still very fond. Like you hold them in very high regard.
Oh, these guys. These are literally 3 men that changed my life.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
In the best way possible.
I understand.
And so now I go, and that's 6, and I realized. Including the teacher, there was me and like 6 other students, and I knew I was nothing like them. These guys, they weren't taking it serious. I was almost angry at them that they weren't taking it as serious. I almost had like a Kobe Bryant type mentality. It's like, I know what kind of work I put into it. You guys aren't putting in the work. That's why I decided to take the last shot, because I see how much work you.
I got you. Okay, so listen, we've already been on for an hour.
Really?
And we just are getting to the stand-up part. So this is going to be a 2-parter. Right now, we got everything up until he took the class. He hasn't been on stage yet. He hasn't gotten bitten by the bug. He hasn't gone through the trials of working and going, and there's so much more that we're going to make this a two-parter. So thank you guys for listening, and part 2 will be coming up next. Hey, everybody. This is part 2 of Who Is This Guy, Gabe Lopez. You gotta, you know what? If you haven't listened to part 1, go listen to it before you get to this one, because there's a reason there's a part 2. And it's not going to be the same experience for you if you do not take the time to go watch that one first. So we got everything out of the way right up until his friends. So we're back. Your friends hook you up, tell you. I kind of had a similar moment where I was working at Farmers Insurance, and this guy named Joe, who was very serious, who I was doing the same thing, but my show was, I don't remember if it's called The Late Show or whatever. It was with Joan Rivers on Fox when Fox became a network. And then they had a bunch of comedians, and I would come to work and do the same shit you did. Yeah. Tell all these guys those jokes. Yeah. But I would be like, oh my God, did you see this guy last night? He said this, this, that. And then Joe came up to me, very serious, always serious, and said, Ned, you're very, very funny. I'm very serious. You should try doing stand-up sometime. And then he just walked away. And I was like, what the fuck is stand-up? Like, at the time, I didn't know what stand-up was. I just know that those guys were funny. Yeah. I didn't even know. Anyway, that was mine. So these guys buy you a class. Yeah. You're in the class. You're a little pissed off because some of the people they're taking it like a fucking mommy and me paint the cup class type of shit. Yeah,
like they weren't. This was more a bucket list type thing for these people. Mm-hmm. And you know, like
it was fun for them.
It was fun, and I want to do it once, and I want to invite a couple of my friends and family, and I tried it, and that way we could talk about it years from now.
To them, it was a karaoke moment.
And I saw this, and I remember the class was at the Ontario Improv.
Like, who taught the class?
I don't remember. It was a lady, and I don't remember her name. Okay, it'll come to me. But she did stand up for a lot of years. She was from New York, and these everybody else was just not taking. And there were some people older than me, people younger than me, and they just weren't taking it serious. And like, I know I'm not saying I'm better than these people, but I know I'm different than these people. I had that whole mindset of when I was back in high school, and I was like, I know I'm Mexican, but I'm not like these Mexicans.
I got you.
And I remember one of the weeks, George Lopez was headlining the club because the classes were on Saturday morning. Okay. And George Lopez was headlining. So I happened to walk into the green room, and I saw George Lopez's suit. And I saw CDs and T-shirts and stuff like that, and like the stuff that I knew was going to be selling later. And I'm like, I want this so fucking bad.
So that's when you started getting...
I want to belong in this room.
Right.
I want to belong in this weird closet that they call a green room. And I want to be on that stage.
So are you bit at this point? Did the spider bite you, or are you now Spider-Man? Are you full in all, this is what I want to do for a living?
I became so obsessed with it. And 6 weeks of classes, just 6 Saturdays of classes. And then that following Tuesday was the graduation night.
Right.
Where all these guys...
you guys all invite.
We were supposed to do. Everybody was. We were supposed. I didn't know what a bringer show was, but that's essentially what it was. Right. And between my friends and I, we ended up getting 200 people to come out for me.
Wow.
And that's everybody from the office that I worked at that came out. Where they're like, if I was doing this, I wouldn't be doing what Gabe's doing and invite us, because what if he fails? And what then? Sure. We're going to talk about him forever.
Yeah. And you were in his zone.
I didn't have that mindset.
No, of course
I
not.
didn't have that mindset.
Nah, you were all about the love, all about
that. And that night, I think there was like 250 people there. 50 from the other classmates.
200 are yours.
And 200 are mine.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do 6 minutes, and I asked for 10. I'm like, wow, it's like you have a comic mentality. I remember the teacher telling me, you have a comic mentality, and you don't realize that. I'm like, I think I have a lot to say. And she's still like, you don't realize that 6 minutes is an eternity, right?
It is.
I've been shooting free throws for so many I had that Kobe, like the way Kobe Bryant thought. I've been shooting free throws for a long fucking time, honey. It's like, let me try 10. Okay. And luckily she embraced it, and I did 10, and I did over 10 actually. And
how'd you do?
The feeling of 200 people clapping for me and cheering for me and not wanting me to fail.
Right.
Because that's the important part, is that these people didn't want me to fail.
Yeah, they were there for you.
Now, I remember I cursed a lot. Of a 10-minute set, I must have said fuck like 170 times. Like, I was just, those were my commas, I guess. I said fucking.
Sure. Fucker, fucking. Yeah.
But the first time I got a laugh out of something that came out of my brain, I knew at that moment, that
was it.
There is no turning back from this.
Right.
This is all I want to do. There is no safety plan. There is no backup plan. This is all I do.
Right.
I remember thinking that on that stage.
Okay.
And I still think it. Like,
and that was the first time you ever got on stage.
The first time I ever touched the stage was at the Ontario Improv.
Cool.
And now, like in this case, we just did it together.
Right.
2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
Right.
I still get that feeling on that fucking stage.
Yeah. So you get on stage for the first time. You get bit. You feel the tuning fork. You hear the gods. You hear the world, the universe say, this is what you want to do with your life.
Yes.
So now comes the next phase of almost every comedian's, the switch and how long it takes. So you're working, and that's important. And financially, it's giving you
Financially,
something.
I haven't made any money yet in stand-up.
Right. No, I'm saying your job, your actual job. Because you're working. You have a job.
I have a day job, yes.
Right. So you have a day job.
Yes.
You're doing your day job, and that's comfortable, and you're making money, and that's kind of set.
Yeah.
Now you're fucking up your own life because you want to do some shit where you're not going to make money. Where if you get $20, where somebody goes, hey, come and do my show give me 10 minutes, and they give you $20, you're like, oh shit, bro, $20?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Right? So one is giving you a living, and the other one is giving you life.
The life that I desire.
So how did those two come together in the beginning, and how did they morph into you quitting your job?
In the beginning, it was, I'll take whatever I can get. And when you're a new comic, it's a lot of coffee houses.
Yes.
It's a lot of bar and grills. It's like you're not, I was spoiled that my first stage was a comedy club. It's a drastic drop down from where you had to truly start to work yourself up the ladder. And
Tequila's bar next door where
And I'd be friended because I was going to the Ontario Improv a lot. I'd be friended. He was a server that worked his way up to, at this time, a low-end manager, like the very, very new manager. His name is Josh Lopez, and you may know him. He lives in North Carolina now. And he just was alone a lot. He put like 70, 80 hours, being the new manager. They'd put everything on him. So he'd like come down and watch whoever he wants. So he'd bring me in, and I'd want to watch every headliner twice.
Okay.
I knew that, so I got to see. It's like if I saw Carlos Mencia, I'd want to see him twice. Pablo Francisco twice. Ralphie May twice. And the reason why is I would devote one studying the headliner, how they tell a joke, how they construct a joke, how they sell it, how they move, how it's like all the mannerisms. And the second time I would watch them, I would just watch the crowd. Why are they laughing at that? What tickled them? Collectively, about that combination of words that got them to this.
So you're back in college.
So it's school.
You're back in college.
I'm treating it as such.
Okay.
I'm treating it like school.
You're going to college, but you're also you're going to college. You have a job, and you're trying to get spots.
Yes.
So how are you balancing that out? And is it working for you? Is it sad? Is it happy?
I knew I was nowhere near at the time. I had like 10, maybe 15 minutes that I was. And I'm not even comfortable with the 15 minutes. I have 8 to 10 that I'm really I consider good, and I could talk for 15 if I had to.
Right.
And so some of the benefits of hanging out at the Improv, as opposed to the other open mic nights, is the people there knew that I was a comic. They didn't know me as anything else. They knew me as a comic. They didn't know what level I was at. They just knew I was a comic. So my buddy Josh, who was the manager, if he was running, especially it was great on Thursdays and Sundays, because if somebody didn't show up, hey, I got a guy. I got a guy that can fill in. And that was my way into clubs. So it's like, it was a club, but it was a club.
Right.
You know, and I would still do the open mic nights. And there was a pizza place I would do every Wednesday because this guy named Gabriel Paul ran something called the Bad Boys of Comedy. And since I say fuck a lot, he's like, you'd be perfect for my show.
Right.
So, and so I would do that every Wednesday. And
Dude, there was a huge pizza place when I was growing up in La Puente or Puente Hills. It was called Lamppost Pizza.
Yeah, I remember Lamppost.
So Lamppost Pizza was like, dude, back for us,
Yeah.
like 180 to 100 people every Thursday for a dude that had been doing stand-up for, months.
Yeah.
And doing, headlining because I had written like so much stuff. Dude, how fucking amazing were those places?
Ralphie May got to open for Sam Kinison because Sam Kinison saw him at a Shakey's Pizza.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize the pizza places had so much to do.
Pizza places have so much to do with stand-up comedy, dude, in our lives. All right, so keep going with it. So you're balancing these three things out.
Yeah.
And you're happy?
And I'm happy because it wasn't even about the money. I just wanted to make people laugh. At no point am I thinking I can support myself. I never thought I could support myself with stand-up. At this point in my life, I didn't think I could support myself with stand-up.
So you thought you were going to do stand-up on the side and work for the rest of your life?
And if I made a couple bucks here and there.
No fucking way.
And then if I got to, if I got to perform in Hollywood, that was a big thing. Or if I got to go on the road and stay in a hotel.
Right.
Holy shit, we're going to El Centro, California? Fuck, I've never been. I don't even know where that is.
Right.
Or the first time I flew to do a gig was because I was performing in Yakima, Washington.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm flying.
Right.
I remember in Yakima, Washington, where they escort us and they treated us like such VIPs, and they take us through the back of it was a nightclub. They took us through the back, and we're walking through the kitchen, and the whole time I'm being such a nerd. Guys, we're walking through the kitchen. Do you understand how important this is? We are performers. We don't go out with the public. We're going through the kitchen. This is so amazing.
It's those times, man, are so priceless. You know what I mean? Those beautiful young moments as a comedian that everything is like so new and so amazing and so colorful and so vivid. So how are you feeling at work at this point? Are you starting to hate work? Are you starting to kind of mail it in at work?
Well, I was I definitely streamlined what I did.
Okay.
I was really good at my job, and so I would try to, I have a list of clients, and I was there from 8 to 5.
Right.
I would try to get everything done for my day by noon.
Okay.
So the last half of my day is just returning a couple of voicemails, but for the most part, I'm either writing or shooting off emails to try to get booked.
Right.
And so at this point, I'm starting to host at the Ontario Improv. So what a host is, that's the first comic that goes up.
Right.
There's normally 3 comics: a host, a feature, and a headliner.
Right.
And
For you people, MC is
MC is something.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
So and the host does 10 minutes.
Right.
And they start the show off because normally there's people still coming into the show.
Sure.
And you're just trying to warm them up to get them ready for the next 2 guys.
You're the fluffer.
Essentially, yes.
Essentially, that's what you're doing.
But I started getting work like that because of Josh at the Improv. Like, hey,
Right.
because there's headliners that don't travel with opening acts.
Right.
I got somebody for you.
Right.
Luckily, I'd befriended Josh. Hey, Gabe, you want to open for Jeff Dunham?
Right.
Absolutely. You want to open for Paulo Francisco?
Right.
Fuck yes, I want to open
Right.
for Paulo Francisco.
Yeah.
Just to be in the same space as these people, I'm like, I can't believe where my
Now,
life
when
is
you
going.
open for Jeff, did they tell you can't say fuck?
No,
Really?
no.
Wow. That's a shocker. Interesting.
Yeah. And I definitely cut down my fucks at this point.
Well,
but,
you showed some respect,
yeah,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I also knew everybody's style.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo didn't care so much. Jeff, it was something. Craig Shoemaker was very, very squeaky clean. So I'm learning to adapt. I'm a chameleon. Now I'm becoming a chameleon with my material.
Understood.
Okay, so now I can work, and so now I'm making a host is making $50 a show. We're doing 6 shows, so I'm getting $300 a week in addition to my day job. So now I'm supplementing my income.
You're killing it right now.
And I'm not having to quit my job, and I'm making money. It's not consistent, but and then I get recommended. Like, hey, now some of the headliners start to like me.
Okay.
Like the one that had the biggest impact on me was Charlie Murphy.
Okay.
Really liked my style. I want you to do, and they sent me a list of dates. So now I'm doing dates with Charlie Murphy.
Now, how many years into stand-up is this happening?
I'm probably at this point. I'm probably like 5-6 years in.
Okay, so
Yeah,
for the
like
first few years, just local stuff, just little stuff.
Yeah.
About 3 years in, you start getting a little sprinkle
Little
here of a
serious,
thing.
yeah.
By 5, not consistent, but you're getting a lot more work.
Correct.
Good stuff,
So,
paid
good
stuff, respect stuff.
But now different. Now it's and I have 0 representation, which at the time was the dream. But I'm getting the Improv in Ontario to call me or let me know they could use me for a week because so and so doesn't have a host, or people like Charlie Murphy to get his manager Rich Murphy, who's his cousin, to go, hey, Charlie wants you, or Chuck wants you over here.
Okay.
Chuck wants you over here. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Right.
Never ask what they're paying.
Right.
I don't ask if I'm getting a hotel room.
Right.
I just cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Sure.
Because thanks to the day job, I can fund it.
Right.
Because now I'm getting to do a theater here and there. Now I'm getting to do. Now different markets are seeing who Gabe Lopez is.
Right.
And hopefully they're starting to like me.
Right.
And which did backfire on me with Charlie, unfortunately. I hate that part.
We'll get to it.
And but now I'm befriending
Uh-huh.
some of these other funny, like-minded people that thought the way I did.
Right.
That this is what we do. This is the life we live. And now I have friends that are like-minded. That
Right.
this is where we're going, or this, who books this show, or how'd you get on that show, or hey, I could use you on this show.
Right.
I recommended you to this show.
Right.
Stuff like that is starting to happen. So now,
Okay.
now the networking of true up and coming comics is happening.
Right.
Not just open micers,
Right.
not the classmates that basically retired after
Right.
the fucking graduation class.
Yeah, these are the guys that if you're in a construction, right? You show up and you're the, you're the day guy
Yeah.
that they picked up for the one day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you meet these guys who go, no, don't come for a day.
We're in the union.
Next week we want to do this and it's going to be 5 days. And then the week after that, it's going to be 6 days. And so now you're in the group of guys that are helping you actually forward your career.
Yeah.
Not just through time and jokes, but money-wise
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So 5 years in, you're not doing bad.
I'm definitely.
But you still have a job.
But I still have a job. Yes.
Okay.
And I always recommend to young comics, like, don't think that quitting your job is committing to the craft. No, you can make it work. Like I was working up until I started in 2002. I was working a day job up until 2010.
Okay. So eight years in.
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when that's where.
So in the midst of this moment, what's the next blip? What's the next jump
the
or
next blip?
fuck up or
Yeah,
good thing or bad thing?
Fuck up or good thing. It happened. The Paychecks where I was working for had an opening in Vegas that I was recommended for.
Okay.
And I thought, Vegas, well, that's an entertainment town.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll give it a well.
And at this point, you're living in San Bernardino or Riverside?
I living in San Bernardino, and
Okay.
and I got sick and tired. I got to the point where there was a lull in stand-up where I got sick and tired of driving to Hollywood to beg to do 5 minutes for like 4 or 5 people.
Right.
And I just got tired, and it was degrading, and I was just getting really down at a point. I'm
It's
like,
about
okay,
a 3-hour round trip
easily.
to perform for
To-
nobody
to not-
and
or-
then not feel growth.
Yeah.
It's just
not getting
literally
anywhere.
nothing.
Not getting anywhere.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it, let's give Vegas a shot. And I moved to Vegas.
This
and
was what year?
This is
So 2002, you said 8 years later, 2010? Or 2000, yeah.
2010. Yes.
It's about 2010?
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm living in Vegas and come to realize that Vegas, it's either Jerry Seinfeld at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace or nothing. There wasn't even much of an open mic scene. There was really nothing going on. And
At the time, let me think. There was an improv, right?
there was an improv at Harrah's.
There was an improv at
And
Harrah's.
then a comedy stop at the Trop.
Right.
But those were all like I didn't know anybody there, and they just ran the same cycle of comics, like they had a 3-month cycle, and they did not deviate from that. It was just the same. You come back every 3 months,
Right.
and that's the entire cast, the host,
Yeah.
the feature, and the headliner. It was the same 3 cats coming every 3 months. So there was no guest spots. There was no walking in. Hey, I'm a comic new in town. There was none of that.
None of what's now, because but like when I started doing here, it was the Tropicana.
Yeah.
So I did that. But right now there's the one in the MGM, right? There's
Yeah,
a club
that's
at the end, comedy clubs.
Brad Garrett's comedy.
Then there's
club.
Jimmy Kimmel's.
Jimmy
Then
Kimmel's.
there's the one that's Stratosphere.
And the Comedy Cellar.
And the Comedy Cellar
At the Rio.
At the Rio.
Yeah.
Are those the four
I think those are
comedy
the four.
clubs
Yeah.
that we know of?
Yeah.
And oh no, then there's the one off the strip, the one by your house, by those whatever that is.
Yes, the guy from Wise Guys.
Uh-huh.
Wise Guys, the guy from Utah.
Right, and he had a couple.
Yeah, he had 3 of them. He's down to 1.
Okay, so there's now comedy clubs.
Yes.
Right, but back then
that there
didn't
weren't.
exist.
Correct.
So you're excited.
And it was an uphill battle where I thought about retiring from stand up.
But that's what I'm saying. You're excited. You come here. You're like, fuck yeah, and then you're like,
I'm like, fuck no.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
None of what I thought was here.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you because every comedian, at some point, has a, I don't want to do this or why should I do this moment, and that's when it came for you.
Yeah, it was like I
You still had a job.
I still had a job.
Still had you were still working for.
And I just saw no future in it anymore. And you get to and there's comics, and a lot of mid-level comics that I would consider myself get to this point, and it's almost a feature plateau is what I call it. So you're not strong enough to be the headliner, but you're too strong of a middle guy where the headliner doesn't want to follow you.
Right. You're not headlining yet. You might have headlining material, but you don't have a headlining name.
Correct. So
or a draw.
So my name doesn't sell tickets, but the headliners don't want me to open for them because
you're too hard to follow.
I was too strong.
I gotcha.
And I fell into that, and that's where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm definitely not going to try this open mic, because there was I met 3 local comics, and still really good friends with one of them. And he's the one that introduced me to whoever was trying stand-up or what rooms were running. So I had no other choice. I started hanging out there, and I started hanging out there. Mm-hmm. And I got to a point where, like, if I don't start my own rooms, and I don't know where, but luckily there was a client from Paychecks that had a movie theater in Boulder City.
Okay.
And one of my coworkers went to go visit him just as a sales call. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, I have a friend that's a comic. He said, I've thought about doing comedy here. So in a movie theater that had like it naturally had a stage.
Sure.
In Boulder City, Nevada.
Yeah.
And let's start doing shows here.
So that's the first show in Vegas that you kind of said,
yes.
Let me try this on my own.
This is my first production in Vegas.
And way back then, Boulder City was a little.
And I learned the hard way.
Did
There's
you?
a lot of white people that very much like, wow, you have a pretty mouth. Like, it's definitely a lot of those people. Mm-hmm. Because I printed up my own flyers, and I'm going to local bars. Hey, we're starting a new comedy show. You're not from here, are you? Like, it was very much that small town vibe. And this is just the outskirts of Vegas, by the way.
It's not even on the outskirts.
It's still
Vegas.
Yeah. And to feel like, give you an idea where Boulder City is. It's where Hoover Dam is. So and I'm learning like, wow, this is good. Okay, so I started off with Latino comics. Let's concentrate on the white comics. That's gonna make it work. And whatever money came in, I split it. I split it with the owner, so he got half and I got half, and it was just giving me barely enough to pay the guys. And I still come home with nothing, but I have a production.
And you have a space.
I have a space.
Okay.
And from making friends, and thank God, Vegas is just a town full of transplants. So it's all people wanting there's so many people that just want to help each other. So friends, one of them got a job as a bartender at this new Hard Rock Cafe on the Strip. Yeah. And hey, I want to introduce you to the entertainment director. I remember his name is Andrew Courtney. And this guy used to be the tour manager for like Bruce Springsteen.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but he wanted to settle down with his wife. Couldn't say, so now I manage this. And that guy was very instrumental in getting me gigs because he allowed me to produce gigs there on the Strip. Then he eventually moved over to the Hard Rock Hotel, allowed me to have shows there. Okay. And so now I'm starting to really learn how to produce my own shows because I was pretty raw with that too. So I'm trying to produce my own shows.
Figuring out how to get to people, what to do.
I'm either making nothing or losing money in the process now.
Sure.
So I'm like, I can't be doing this. It's this is just a pit and full of stress and trying to get people to come to a show that don't know who Greg Wilson is or don't know who DJ Cooch is and
who don't know who Gabe Lopez is.
And don't know who Gabe Lopez is. And like I gotta. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
So did you have how serious? at your worst, at the saddest moments, right? At the moments when you're looking up at that Great Wall of China. You know what I mean? How real did it get
I was
that you wanted to quit?
I was living with a girl who was sick and couldn't work. I'd finally gotten laid off from paychecks, and I kind of manipulated the system to get laid off.
Okay.
Because at the time Obama was president.
Yeah.
And since things were so bad, they extended unemployment to 99 weeks.
Okay.
But I couldn't quit, so I had to get fired. So
Gotcha.
So I manipulated the system to get fired, and hopefully the statute of limitations is over on that shit.
Well, you didn't get fired. You got laid off.
I got laid off, and I just remember lying in bed and in a dark room with a sick partner, and I'm just looking at the ceiling, and just started talking to God.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pray, but I was like,
That's a prayer, bro.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to get out of this hole. I'm writing rent checks that I know are going to bounce.
Yeah.
I know our time is limited in where we're living. Mm-hmm. Just if there's a door out there for me, just don't let me miss it. I remember saying those words. Like, if there's a door out there open for me, just don't let me miss it.
Dude, even atheists at one point have a moment where they're like, you know what? I don't believe there's shit out there. But if there is, like, you know what I'm saying?
Now's the time to
right?
prove it.
Like that everybody has that, because we all as human beings get sad and get, you know, we're frail. We're emotional beings. We, you know, and so it's a part of the fabric of life to get to that place. And sometimes you just gotta go. So you're lying in bed. You don't know what to do.
And it's I don't even feel funny. I don't want to be funny. I'm just sad. You know, like that's really where I was. If I'm being honest, I was just sad. And
And what was the next change?
I was ready to retire.
What was the next speed bump?
And
you were ready to retire.
Yes.
You were ready to quit.
Yeah, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
You were legit ready to say, fuck it.
I can't support myself. And
you knew that you could get a job
back
somewhere. You could even get your paycheck stub back if you really wanted.
Yeah. So like I had a gig booked. I remember when I had that sad moment. I had a gig booked that weekend.
Okay.
At the Pechanga Casino in Temecula, California.
Yeah.
So it was about a 4-hour
I shot
drive.
a special there.
And that's right. And I had, watching my pennies, I had enough gas and drove down there. So that was Friday, Saturday. That prior Thursday, my old friend Gary Cannon calls me. He's like, hey, I'm going to be with Ralphie May and Laughlin. Can you come hang out this weekend? It's like, well, I can't. I got this Friday, Saturday thing. I wish it was a different weekend. I'd be hanging out with you all weekend. It's like, well, we're Thursday through Sunday. Why don't you meet me on Thursday? And you can crash in my room, and then you just drive to Temecula from Laughlin in the morning. Like, that's a good idea. I can do that.
Sure.
And so I'm there waiting in front of the showroom at the Riverside Resort in Laughlin, and just waiting because I didn't have a ticket, and I'm just waiting.
You didn't have shit. You didn't have a room. You didn't have a ticket.
I don't have anything.
You just have a friend.
I have a.
You have a friend.
I have a friend that told me he was gonna be here.
You're that guy in front. No. My friend said he's gonna come find me. I swear to God.
I swear.
Oh, he told you to just stand here.
Yeah.
He's gonna be okay.
Yeah. And I get my phone rings, and it's Gary Cannon. Like, Gary, where the fuck are you, man? Isn't it showtime? Like, it's supposed to start. Yeah, we're running a little behind. Ralphie wants you to start the show. The fuck do you mean Ralphie wants me to start the show? How far out are you? I'm going to be honest with you, Gabe. I'm not sure.
Holy shit.
How much time do you want me to do? I have maybe 15. You might have to stretch, Gabe. I'm not going to lie. These are the words coming out of my friends.
Okay, so when he says that, there's like a pie chart, right? Look at the pie chart.
Yeah.
How much of the pie is, fuck yeah, I get to fucking do this? And how much was the pie was, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I going to do?
Let's go with the 50-50 on that one. Like, I'm excited and I'm going to perform.
You're a yin and yang. You're a perfect yin and yang.
Because I've just witnessed hundreds of people walk into this fucking room.
You're watching everybody go in.
And I'm like,
and you're looking at the excitement.
And the 50 is really teetering on both ways severely.
So you're going, I can do this. Like, I can do this. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to eat a dick.
The angel and the devil right there.
Oh,
you're going to no, you can't. No,
God.
you can do. No, like, that's what's going on.
Sure. And it's fast, right? It's like it's coming at you. All this energy is coming at you.
Now it goes from me waiting for them to get me in. To
you-
going to the door guy, hi, I'm supposed to be on the show tonight. You're Gabe. Okay, please follow us.
Oh, thank God.
They all knew. They all knew.
Thank
They
God.
all
Fuck,
knew.
thank God.
They all knew.
'Cause that
And
would've
they-
destroyed
and
you.
They take me to the back, and I'm meeting all the sound guys, and this is a whole new world.
Yeah.
I've never done a theater in my life. All these sound guys, lighting guys. Hi,
Sure.
we're your 2 lighting guys. I'm your
Yeah.
sound guy. Do you
Yeah.
want what do you want? What song do you want to go up to? Questions that I've never been asked before. And all of a sudden, it's like I'm just thrust into this.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, let's see how long I have to talk. And let me look at the crowd, see if anybody's wearing anything ridiculous so I can talk to them and do some crowd work for a couple minutes.
So you're already in the mode of adding shit, right?
I'm already trying
You're already
like, what
okay,
can
I have
make
this much. I got to add to it.
Yeah.
I got to add to it.
Oh,
'Cause-
I'm trying to think of old comic strip live bits that I at this point.
Sure. How much time do you think did you think you had to do as opposed to how much time you had? So you knew you had 15 minutes and you thought you were going to be up for what,
I thought
30?
for 20 to 30 was what I had in my mind.
Okay.
And I would say...
So you're looking for 5 to 15 minutes of new shit you've never done before.
And I'm the only comic in this theater of 600 to 700 people.
Okay.
And it's a Thursday, and there's 600 to 700 people in this room.
Okay.
So I'm doing everything I can. I'm slowing down my jokes.
Sure.
A little more molasses, a little length to the jokes. And then
All of a sudden you have a speech impediment.
and
So, hey, ladies.
I got all Harry Carey. And then I finally see Gary Cannon on the side. He's here. Great.
Okay. And how much time into your show was it?
I
at
was
this
probably
point?
10 minutes in.
Oh, shit.
And I still had, so now I have my closer. So I had a closer.
So you're
and
good.
So I did my closer.
Yeah.
And Gary, thank God you're here. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Cannon. And then Gary's like, Ralphie's in the green room. He wants to talk to you. Okay.
Okay.
I've met Ralphie May once when I waited in line to buy his CD after I bought tickets to a show at the Ontario Improv. Mm-hmm. I have that picture in my house still to this day.
It's badass.
And I walk back there. It's like, hi, Mr. May. He's like, yeah, cut that shit out, man. It's Ralph. I saw your whole set. Turns out they were there for my entire set. They got there on time. They weren't sure, but they got there in time, and Ralphie just sat on the side and watched my whole set. And he's like, yeah, you want to open for me all weekend? Ned, when I say I'm in Pechanga Friday and Saturday, that was my one booking out of 52 weeks this year. This is the only booking I had.
Right.
And now the Ralphie May is asking me to open for him this weekend.
And you have to say no.
I can't.
Right. And you're scared because what does that mean?
Yeah. Like,
Right?
in
your head, you're like,
is this door closed?
Is this fucking opportunity,
Hey.
but I can't fuck them.
Yeah.
And probably your dad's voice.
Yeah.
I would imagine that your dad's voice was in your head going, mijo, you can't cancel.
You made a commitment.
Right.
You gave your word.
Right.
And if you have anything, you have your word.
Yeah. So you're just.
So I'm in Pechanga for Friday and Saturday, 2 shows. He's like, oh, man, that sucks. Well, are you doing anything Sunday? It's like, just driving back. Why don't you drive here? And
That must have been like, ah! Fucking, right?
And one of the people from the hotel's like, hey, this is one of my openers, Gabe Lopez. I forgot to get him a room. Can you get him a room? Here are your keys, Mr. Lopez. You're set for the next 4 or 5 days, whatever they said.
Sure.
So I had an empty hotel room
For 2 days.
for 2 days, but it came back on Sunday, and Ralphie was a man of his word. Yeah, come on up. And I did my solid 10 that I'm proud of.
Right.
And then we hung out at this place. If you've ever been to Laughlin, the Riverside has a place called the Losers Lounge.
Yeah.
It's a fun bar.
Yeah.
And he just takes a wad of merch money and hands me like $300-400. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, absolutely, baby. You worked for me, right?
Yeah.
And that you worked for me stuck like when I pay comics, especially when they're shocked. It's like, hey, are you sure? Are you sure about paying me? It's like, did you work for me? There you go. And to get to that transition, and then fast forward a little bit more, I'm talking to Gary, and Gary, I can't do this anymore. It's like, and Ralphie calls me, and he's like, hey, buddy, I can't take you on the road with me right now. I want to, but Gary told me about your situation. I'm gonna set something up for you. I'll get back to you. Just hang tight. Because I told Gary I'm retiring. I can't. I got to find a 9 to 5. Literally writing rent checks that weren't going to clear. And next thing I know, I get a call from the South Point Hotel, the entertainment director, Damian Costa, that says like, hey, Gabe, you don't know me. My name is Damian Costa. I'm the entertainment director here at the South Point. And Ralphie told me to give you a shout. The three of us are going to have a meeting on such and such date in the Grandview Lounge at 10 a.m. Can you make it? Fuck yeah, I'll make it. I got nothing going on. I promise you I got nothing going. And Ralphie, I thought once I hung up with Ralphie, that was it. Ralphie makes phone calls and he puts it. It's like, hey, we're gonna put this show together. We're gonna call it The Dirty at 12:30. We're gonna bring Old Vegas back. Gabe is gonna run it because he's gonna be the day-to-day guy. We're gonna add my name to it to give it credibility, and Gabe will book it. And I'll send in the big names as I find out that they're in Vegas, and this will be a team effort. But the check goes to Gabe. Life changed instantly.
That was a moment.
That was the moment.
That was
the moment.
Changer, the biggest change in your life so far.
Where stand-up comedy is what I do. I produce shows and I do stand-up. That's what I do. And Ralphie was a man of his
word. And you were literally
done. One
fucking show away.
I'm looking
from quitting.
I'm looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. That's where my career was. I was steps away from that light.
Wow. That's just... It's so mind-blowing because, from the outside looking in, it's just not... You don't think that those moments are like that, right? I mean, you hear them, you read about them, people write movies about them, but that was your life. You literally said to him, I can't do this. Like this, I can't. And so he does this for you. Now, did he tell you why? What was his driving force to do it?
He wrote a book. And I didn't know the story until I read his book.
Okay.
And I read it after he passed away, unfortunately. But I'm in the last chapter. And I'll never forget this line. What I was able to do for Gabe Lopez was the same thing that Joey Medina did for me so many years ago.
Oh, shit.
So apparently there was a door that Joey Medina opened for Ralphie.
Wow.
That in turn Ralphie was able to open for me. And I hope that someday I can open up that same door for somebody else.
You already have, bro. You already have. I'm not saying to stop.
But luckily, like fast forward years.
But bro, there are headliners. Let's not gloss over this. There are headliners that would not be known as headliners were it not for The Dirty. Were it not for that show.
Yeah.
There are people that nobody knew of when you first brought them out.
Yeah.
There were people that you saw and you had them open your show and you helped them. And then they featured your show and you helped them. And now they're headlining your shows and they're pulling in, you pull in the shows and it's always, but they're a part of why the continuing of this show is fresh for people.
Yeah.
You've done that already for many of these guys and you know it. Now, how they talk to you and how they look at it, that's a completely different thing. But from the outside looking in, you have paid it forward. Yeah. You should never stop. It should never be something that you should move on. But you've done that.
But I also feel like I was able to pay Ralphie back before he passed because I helped in developing his residency here in Vegas because I lived here. So now I knew the market. I understand the market. This is a much different market than LA, Miami, Chicago.
Right.
This is just a different beast altogether.
Sure.
And so I have that satisfaction where at least I was able to provide that for him before he passed away. And then...
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that when he didn't have it, and then you already had a relationship kind of with Damien.
Yeah.
And so when you and Damien talked about doing it, he was the guy that... And so how did you help in that process, I guess?
Because Damien called me up, and he knew I'd been opening for Ralphie because I was doing random dates with him. And Damien calls me up, hey, do you think... and Damien at this point graduated from the South Point. Now he's head of entertainment for all of Caesars.
Right.
All their properties. Hey, what do you think about offering Ralphie a residency? And I think that's a great idea. I'm like, and Damien's like, where do you think that should be? I'm like, pick a blue-collar resort. He's not going to be a Bellagio, a Wynn type draw, but something center strip, something like a Harrah's, for example. And Harrah's triggered something because they do have a theater, and it's like, and it's center strip. You can't be any more in the middle,
right?
And it's like, and it's a blue collar hotel.
Yep.
It's like this is Ralphie's wheelhouse,
right?
And sure enough, so. And that's the beginning of it. The first two-man show I ever did was with Ralphie May. So I would open it, and he would close it. And then when Ralphie passed, and I take great pride in this, when he passed away, I had a meeting with Damien, and they asked me, it's like, unfortunately, the show must go on. And I know it's like you're a monster fan of comedy. Who do you think can fill this showroom? Mm-hmm. And I take great pride in this, and I'm not kissing your butt.
Of course.
It's like there's only one Road Dogg that has the similar credits, same history, same work ethic, same style, same draw, and same level of fame. And so the only one is Carlos Mencia. And I mentioned that. And Damien disagreed with me at the time.
Okay.
He brought up a couple other names. I'm like,
Sure.
I don't agree with that at all, and this is why. And I gave him reasons. I'm very intelligent. When it comes to stand-up, test me all you want. This is my craft. This is my hobby. This is my passion.
We've heard, bro.
Yeah.
We've heard.
So this is all I want.
Yeah. You went to college and then you went to college.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And as this act failed, then I get the phone call. Hey, do you think Carlos is up for the residency?
Right.
I'm like, in the exact same room that we did with Ralphie?
Right. Yeah.
I say it's about time.
Right.
And then fast forward, we've been together for over a year now in the residency?
Yeah. So let's not gloss over the Dirty at 12:30 in the sense that it is a juggernaut. And for you people that don't know, the Dirty at 12:30 is the place that we go to, comedians, when we're performing in Vegas, because our shows are normally 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, over by, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
So, and usually they're structured, and usually they're, it's not that they're not fun, but, there's a certain sense of responsibility, a certain sense of, you have to give these crowds, because when you're doing the Coliseum or when I was doing whatever the theater is, you got to kill for that.
Yeah.
You got to do that great show. But then going to the 12:30 was almost like almost like us just going, fuck.
It's a party in the living room. That's how I explain it. Like,
Yeah.
look, you go perform your structured day job shows, and then let's hang out in my backyard.
Right.
This is where the shit talking happens. This is where the big names, and you can name the big names that get their monster paycheck and they come down and hang out because and you've been witness to it where you never know who's going to show up. There's times where I find out 5 minutes before the crowd does that this person shows up.
Right.
And we're talking about a Craig Robinson, a Joey Diaz, a Craig Shoemaker,
Sure.
a Matt Eisman. We can
Sure.
go down
the list. A lot of us love doing. Yeah. So it starts. Not easy.
No, it's very hard at first.
Right. So how did that?
And I'm not making a lot of money in the beginning. And when I say I'm not making a lot of money, I'm making $600 a show.
Right.
And so this is what I would do. I would pay $400 to the headliner.
Okay.
It's for another $100 for two middle acts, so $50 and $50.
Sure.
And that $100 that's supposed to be my profit, I'm waiting after the show to buy people drinks. Hi, what's your name? Carlos. So good to meet you, Carlos. Can I buy you a drink, Carlos? Hey, did you have a good time tonight? Like, I said, would you mind telling people about this? And would you mind, bringing more friends next time? I'm just really trying to build this up, and I want it just to be for locals.
Right.
Hi, what's your name? My name is Tim. Tim, hi, how are you? Did you have a good time tonight? And that's what I use my $100. My $100 profit that I really fucking needed, by the way.
Sure.
And I'm just trying to get people.
And how long is this going on? How long does this last? And bless. Wait, let's another question. One more question. What kind of headliners were you getting at that time for $400?
Just my friends. I didn't know so many headliners, so it was really the friends that I knew from my little circle clique that of like-minded. So that's how I got DJ Cooch to come out. Ralphie did the first show, and that set that off. Like this, my little room holds 160 people. We average 400 to 500 people a show. Mm-hmm. Opening night, I'm able to announce I got Ralphie May performing for free at midnight.
Right.
Security didn't know what to do with all these people.
Sure.
And when I say people, 700 to 800 people think about a room that holds 160.
Yeah.
And they're just sardined in. People are sitting on the carpet within the rows. The waitresses aren't able to get through. It was a surreal event
Right.
that Ralphie May created by his name. And then I'm calling, it's like the friends I had, like DJ Cooch, and then Corey and Chad, the Smash Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and then they introduced me to Greg Wilson. So now I got Greg Wilson, and then from that, the World Series of Comedy's in town. Who's there? Oh, I learned there's this guy named Kabir Singh that's gonna, maybe rest in peace, but
Rest in
like
peace.
that just be a crusher. So I'm starting to realize that there's these insanely talented people that aren't household names yet.
Right.
Let me get them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to the point where I can't.
The Brett Ernsts of the world. The guys
Exactly.
like that,
People
who are just,
who are getting the Chris Porters and the Brad Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And that's still like these monsters that now, if they still come to visit me and I'm happy when I see them, but thank God I don't, because that means their career went this direction.
Right.
But then they still come visit me. Oh, when I see a Chris Porter coming for my birthday, the biggest hug I can give this guy.
Right.
And these guys that still come, in spite of the fact that, like these big names, I've never paid them a penny. They just know that this is a fun, rocking fucking crowd.
Right.
And they're locals.
Right.
And that's big. Vegas is 2 million people. We avoid the Strip.
Right.
And it was an uncensored show. It's not a Jerry Seinfeld. No disrespect to Jerry, but that's not my style of comedy.
Right.
I liked Ralphie May. I liked a Joey Diaz, a Carlos Mencia, where whatever thoughts in your head,
let it out.
Just let it out, because there's funny in that.
When did you have the moment?
I still don't, and I refuse to have the moment.
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean the I gotta stop working moment. I mean the oh fuck, I'm making it now. Not to conflict with
Got it.
the work ethic because what you're talking about is we never stop advertising. I got up this morning at 8:00 to do a phoner for a gig that I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
That never stops. But the moment where you're doing the Dolph Dirty, you're not making any money, and then there was I'm making money and I'm doing okay, and this is gonna be like a thing. Not I have to stop working. I have to not. But I'm like, oh fuck, this like there's the level of comfort on that one end.
When my girlfriend was a photographer, so she would shoot all the shows. So we started putting these canvases together to put in the green room, because at the time my green room was a storage closet. They just put chairs there. It was just concrete, and they invested a little money. They bought us a couple of couches. And so I invested in putting all these canvases together of my girlfriend's best pictures, and we started putting them up to make it, because I'm thinking now an improv, a laugh factory. Like, do you show the history? Because I want the new comics that are coming into the green room. So, holy shit, Ralphie May was here. Holy shit, Carlos Mencia was here. So now
To up your game.
So
That picture makes you up your game.
I'm creating the prestige. Where now comics like Cisco, when's my picture going to go up on this? Like, I didn't know that it started meaning something to people.
Right.
And when I'm starting to see now that the collage that's going on before the show actually starts, there's a collage of all those pictures.
Yeah.
Where you see Craig Robinson and Joe Rogan and Pablo Francisco and Christopher Titus and these heavyweights.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that's from these local guys that I needed to shut them up. Why can't I get on the stage? That's why, motherfucker. That's why you can't get on the stage.
Right.
I can tell how much work you're putting into this.
Right.
I can tell in 30 seconds how much work you're putting into this.
Right.
And before I was afraid to be, who the fuck am I to be that peer? Now, all I care about is butts and seats.
Right.
And will they come back?
Right. Right.
And now when they start seeing that rock stars are coming to hang out at the show, and then in turn porn stars follow the rock star. So now there's so many different reasons to come to the Dirty.
Right.
And then I started creating my own headliners. I did that by accident.
Right.
Now they're just coming for the Dirty. No, we have to go because Corey and Chad, the Smash Brothers, are here.
Right.
Holy shit, Brett Ernst is here this weekend. Now we have to go this Friday.
Right.
You
So
know,
now it's the place to be. It's the show for the comics. Unlike comic shows that aren't full, this place is full.
It's the comedy
Killer
store.
energy.
I wanted to create a comedy store vibe in Vegas. Because that was my marker. That was what
pretty
I liked
much what you got. You have that energy, and your fans are now, they're called Dirty Birds, so there's like a camaraderie to it.
Yeah.
There's a comfort there. You and I are doing this residency. What are you feeling is your next evolution?
My
Are
next
you
step,
in the
'cause-
moment?
no.
Are you thinking?
No,
Are you getting?
we're in 2025
Where are we
now. In 2026, my goal is to produce my hilarious friends specials. Okay. So I got to get there, and I just want 30-minute specials, and I'm just going to put them out on YouTube, including producing my own.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put them out on YouTube because, unfortunately, we live in this TikTok generation where everything, the really popular stuff, just goes straight to YouTube, and it's pieced out from there to go onto Instagram, to TikTok, and that's how I want to make my friends. I want to make my friends super successful. Famous is their own choice, but super successful.
Right.
Where they don't have to worry about numbers because they'll only give me a Wednesday night. Right. Greg Wilson deserves Thursday through Sunday. Corey and Chad deserve Thursday through Sunday. They deserve to be at that level.
I agree.
And I want to, Brett Ernst and Chris Porter are doing so fucking well. Brad Williams is just doing theaters now. Look how great he's doing, and he's one of your opening acts.
I discovered him straight up.
And I befriended him. We did open mic nights together. We've known each other for so long. Yeah. Just to see these guys, and then the new generation to come in. There's some really creative kids coming up that, to think that I'm an older generation, but just some of these kids are really good. But also, I'm experienced enough to know, you keep asking for spots, I don't see your name anywhere. I don't see you promoting yourself. I follow you on purpose, just to see what you're doing.
Right.
And I can tell who's working and I can tell who's not. I don't need to watch your set to know how much work you're putting into this.
So your mentality with that is still the same as it was when you went to that class, where you were looking around and you were like, nope, you guys aren't really putting the time in. So your still mentality is the same. Hey, you're not putting the time in.
Yeah.
So this is on you.
Yeah. And then,
but you're trying to help.
And some of these, some of these kids, these entitled fucks that I call them, they'll tell me to my face, like, you forget what it's like to be a starting comic. I'm like, the fuck I do. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
And I know the kind of work I put in.
Right.
Me telling you no shouldn't be the end of your career. I got a shitload of no's.
Yeah.
Before I started getting some yeses.
And it should inspire you to do whatever you aren't doing in order for me to give you this fucking spot. Yeah.
And if you think you can do better, by all means, create your own room.
Right. Gotcha.
Well, you should be sucking Ralphie May's dick. Is that your way out from not doing the work?
Right.
Ralphie saw that I did the work, and that's why he opened the door. And I always tell comics, and I tell everybody, be nice and be ready.
Right.
Because being nice will help open that door. You better be fucking ready.
Right. Wish I had you as a friend back in the day. I was ready. I wasn't nice. It's an interesting journey, man. It's a beautiful, amazing journey filled with, moments of despair and sadness and moments of elation and beautiful things to come, man.
But we still help each other out. With all 40 years into this.
Yeah.
There's times where, like, I still have to remind you, hey, we get to do this.
Yeah,
we don't have to do this.
Yeah,
we are lucky and blessed that we get to do this.
We get stuck sometimes in minutia of doing that thing, which is what's drives us.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just lose perspective, and you need a friend. Part of why I wanted to do this, and for you guys that don't know, we normally talk about what we're gonna do, and I told him it's going to be a surprise, is because I think that now people are going to get a fuller picture of who you are and where you come from and your voice on why it is where it is. And I did. This interview gave me chills, made me cry, and gives me joy.
But still, because I know you're going to wrap up now, we still have to help each other.
Of course.
When I say that, just because we're comics, we're not immune to life.
Right.
It's like, illness, deaths, sick children, stuff like that.
Relationships. You lost Ralphie.
Ralphie died in my house.
Not only that, but like the aftermath, the wife and the kids and the turmoil and all of it. You know what I mean? The stuff we don't even want to talk about because it's just, no point in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's life that comes at us. And at the end of the day, as comedians, part of, again, and I'm glad that you brought this up, is that we are human.
Absolutely.
And our humanity is what we connect with on stage.
It's what makes us funny.
It's what makes us alive and funny and vibrant.
And relatable, because that's what they laugh at.
Yeah.
Either we bring them into our world or we picture that they're allowed to picture something in their world because of our words.
Correct.
How lucky are we?
Look, we do something for a living that at times is so difficult, that at times is so burdensome, that at times takes so much away physically. I mean, if you look at my schedule right now.
Oh, I don't envy it.
It's a physical nightmare. And yet, this weekend you sent me the text. We get to do this.
We get to
It's
do
like,
this.
yeah. So it's good to see the other side of it, the humanity of it. And, I'm just grateful that these people get to see all of what built you, what made you, because I get to call you a friend, but I get to see you all the time. I get to see all this stuff.
Yeah.
Now they know that you're not just trying to fill spots, that you actually did get guys that were openers that you thought and built them into headliners, and now they're headlining, and now some of them moved on. And so you're still paying it back, and you're still finding a way. And then yet at the same time, you're not going to help everybody, because not everybody deserves it.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they deserve it, but not everybody deserves it. The people that work hard, the people that are nice, the people that are kind, the people that are grateful, those are the ones. And that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, like next, there's a guy named Trix, and if you haven't heard of him, he's going to be a household name. I promise you.
He's hysterical, bro.
He is funny beyond funny. I didn't know him, and he was from Canada, visiting Vegas multiple times because he was performing here. And he's like, "This show's for me, man. Just show." I didn't know who he is, so he's like, he told me it took him a good 10 to 12 times before I gave him a chance. Mm-hmm. And he finally did a spot and didn't care. It was 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It didn't matter to him. And he's like, I told you I was going to crush this crowd. And I couldn't. This guy got a standing ovation in 10 minutes. I'm like,
Holy
where
shit.
have you been?
What do you mean? Where have you been? He's been asking you 12 times, asshole.
And he's been asking me, and a couple of comics have done that. And the best part is, he's like, you made it that much sweeter when I finally got up there. Like, I felt like I earned my spot.
Oh.
So when comics ask me, hey, will you put a word in for Gabe? He's like, no, you put your own work in, because I promise you it's worth it.
Okay.
When Gabe finally puts you up, I promise you that crowd will fucking love you if you deserve to be loved. Tricks like, I knew they were gonna love me.
How does it feel? Pros and cons. And we'll end with this. How does it feel, pros and cons, to be a gatekeeper to a next level for these kids?
I take it very seriously. Comedy to me is a very serious business. And will these people come back? Or, since my show is late at night, are you not that high energy? Doesn't mean that you're not talented. Are you that not very high energy where people are going to leave before the headliner gets on stage? Nothing annoys me more than people not even getting to the headliner. And I know I have a late night show, but I treat it as a responsibility. And I'm willing to ask my friends, because everything is either I've seen it or friends that I trust. And if I don't know, if you don't fill any of those, I probably don't need you yet. And I always add the yet. You're not there yet. Okay. How long have you been doing stand-up? 6 months. You're not ready yet.
Right.
If you're telling me you've been doing comedy for 6 months and you can do 45 minutes, I don't believe that shit at all.
Okay.
Yeah, that math doesn't equate with me. You know how long it takes to come up with 10 minutes?
Yeah, when you first start, forever.
So I take it seriously. As if you're calling me the gatekeeper, you
are a gatekeeper.
I'm very.
You're a gatekeeper, 100%.
I'm very picky, because I also know I can be opening a door.
So you're responsible in the sense that you want to give opportunity, but you want to not waste those opportunities by giving it to somebody.
I need fresh blood. I need new comics. I need new headliners. You know why? Because I'm losing my headliners to becoming bigger names.
Right.
I couldn't ask for anything better.
Right. But you got to feed your own pipeline.
But I have to create my own pipeline.
Gotcha. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. A very good insight.
I didn't think I would talk so much
into who this guy is. And man, hope you're living your best life. And you know what? If nothing else, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I get from this is, at the end of the day, not everybody is going to achieve their dream, because sometimes those dreams are a little beyond our grasp. It just happens. But every single success story, as his, as mine, is filled with moments of despair, moments where you don't think it's going to happen, moments where you want to give up, moments where the world just feels way too big to handle, like anything else.
Yep.
And unlike everybody else, we didn't quit. Unlike everybody else, we were fortunate. maybe there is a universe, maybe there is a God, maybe something's listening. But there was a moment where you looked up and you said, hey, man, just look out for me for a second. And after you asked for that, whatever you want to believe out there, whether it's energy or not, it came to you, man. So
just because it didn't happen the way you pictured it,
right,
doesn't mean it wasn't an answered prayer, is how I see it.
I got you, man. Look, chronologically, you were in a moment, you asked for something, and not too long afterwards, Ralphie ended up on your, on your radar. I mean, this is what happened.
Yeah.
You can say it's coincidence. You can say it's energy. You can say you put the energy out there, so you got it back. You can say you asked God. You say you prayed. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you asked for something that you really wanted, and at the end of the day, you were nice and you were ready.
Yeah, perfectly said.
So I hope you're nice and I hope you're ready. Till next time, guys. Peace.
See ya.